functioning labels though. Hi, how you doing? It's Sean on the Spectrum here, bringing you another video. So, today we're going to be discussing functioning labels. Are they good? Are they bad? Let's delve into it. So, what is a functioning label? So, basically, a functioning label is basically a term that people use to basically grade how far on the spectrum somebody is perceived to be. So basically, say for example, somebody would probably take a look at me and say, oh, he's high functioning. And look at somebody else and go, oh, they must be low functioning. That shit is ableist, man. Basically, functioning labels are extremely inaccurate. Now, here's where it is. So, say somebody could be in a particular scenario struggling with severe anxiety with it. Like, I myself, I go through hell when a fire alarm goes off, I need to vacate as soon as possible. Whereas another person on the autism spectrum could be fine with that. Whereas me, myself, I could be alright talking to somebody new. I do mask that a fair bit though. Another person, that very same person who was totally fine with the fire alarm, could really, really struggle with that. See where there's a difference? So where one person has a bit of a strength, that other person may have a bit of a weakness. And where that person with a weakness has a strength, could be a weak point for that other person. Another reason why functioning labels aren't helpful is because they don't take into account a lot of individual needs. So, for example, say you're in school, right, and a teacher, gets word that you're on the autism spectrum and goes, oh, they must be high functioning. That really isn't taking into account your individual needs as a person. So, for example, if you're put in the bracket of high functioning, what they could be doing is they could be being quite ableist without even realising it. See, if you're put into that high functioning box, it's basically assumed that you have these certain strengths and these certain weaknesses, which is not the case at all. See, there are so many different criteria in the autism spectrum to basically just have it as either high functioning or low functioning. The big thing with it is that there's such a vast array of different criteria within the autism spectrum that everybody has different strengths and weaknesses with each one. Now, to put it as high functioning or low functioning, you basically, if you imagine like a linear scale, okay? So you've got high functioning up here and low functioning over here, right? Wrong. That linear scale does not exist for autism. It shouldn't, and it doesn't. Now, think about the autism spectrum as a great big vast circle, right? Now, I'm here on this circle, another person's up here, another person's over here, another person's in the middle, another person's there. See, that can't be displayed on a linear scale. It's too vast. See what I mean? Another reason why the autism spectrum should not be deemed as high functioning or low functioning. So, say that you're on the autism spectrum, but can mask quite well. You have like relatively decent social skills, like that you've adapted and honed over the years, and you like to do your bit. You like to raise a little bit of awareness for like autism and promote acceptance and everything like that. And then somebody turns around, another person who's on the autism spectrum, tells you that you're too high functioning to be an advocate for autism. What the hell's that all about, man? I mean, let's look at it this way. Isn't any awareness and acceptance good? See, the problem is, it's like it can cause people to be like really choosy about who they deem as fit to be an advocate, who they deem as like fit to, really kind of represent the autism community. Now, my view on it is we all all of us on the autism spectrum have the right to represent the autism community because we are all autistic. We're all living it. We're all going through it day to day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're all living it, just each in our different ways. And if you bear in mind the things that I've said earlier, there is no high functioning or low functioning. It is all just one vast spectrum with many different areas included in there that cannot determine high functioning or low functioning. It's just simply not possible. And the last point that I'm going to touch on is the fact that autism functioning labels can deny autistic people the support that they really need. What do I mean by this? So, it's like I touched on a little bit earlier about functioning labels, high functioning, low functioning, basically putting people into a particular box, right? So that particular box is going to make people think that there's certain needs within that, which is just simply not the case. Each person is an individual with their own individual needs, with their own individual strengths and weaknesses. Now, if functioning labels are used, that gets ignored. And that can deny people who really need that little bit of help in certain areas from getting that help because some people believe that, they're high functioning, they don't need help with this. When, as a matter of fact, there may be a lot of areas that they may deem as part of being high functioning, quotation marks, that mean that they don't need that. Whereas, in reality, as an individual, they do need that. These functioning labels can really deny people on the autism spectrum the needs and support that they really, really need and deserve. So, how has this been for you anyway? Feel free to leave your feedback in the comments. Give me your experiences about functioning labels, how it's made you feel, things that it's affected within your life. Always happy to discuss, always read my comments, always happy to speak to any of yous. That's why I'm here. But anyway, I've been Sean on the Spectrum. You've been an absolutely beautiful audience, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See ya!